Luxor, one of the most beautiful cities around the world, an open-air museum for anyone who would like to learn more about ancient history, culture, and civilization. And right now we're going to talk about Luxor, but we have something that is really very, very important. Everyone around the world is waiting for this important event, the opening of the Avenue of the Sphinxes. Well, over the phone, we have Mr. Said Taha. He's a tourism expert. Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir. Talking about the Avenue of the Sphinxes and all the developments taking place and the preparations in Luxor for such a great event, what can you tell us about it?
Actually, will be something we can compare it with the Golden Parade of the Mummies that was happened in April this year. And when the ancient time, they used to carry the statue of Amun and his family, Goddess Mut and his son, Goddess Khonsu, from one of these two temples, Luxor and Karnak temple. Karnak temple was considered to be the residence of Amun, while his harem or his consort, Goddess Mut, there are two residences for her. Mut temple in between Karnak and Luxor, and also in Luxor temple. Because in Luxor temple we have some reliefs exactly close to the passage was built during the time of Amenhotep III, the 14th Government passage. Those reliefs talking about the Obit festival, when the priests had to carry the statue of Amun from there up to, Karnak temple and vice versa. This time it will be done from Luxor to Karnak temple because in Karnak temple there is a big entrance and big open court there where the celebration will be ended there, and it will be preceded by musical band, and they're going to chant what we call it the amens, or the the holy verses of the ancient books of the ancient people, especially what we call it the book when Amun had to visit the Valley of the Kings to bless the deceased and the buried bodies in the tombs there. It's very important, and I think will help a lot and will revive again that celebration and that procession taken during the ancient time, starting from the time of the New Kingdom, and it was continued up to the Greco-Roman time. We knew from Ptolemy's time that been celebrating as well what we call it the Amun festival of Obit Amun. And Amun had another feast and another celebration when he had to cross to the other side of the River Nile to visit the Valley of the Kings.
Talking about our history and talking about the importance of such great sites, well, we all know that definitely because also out of your work you are in direct contact with many of the holiday makers who used to come to Egypt to visit such historical sites. So tell me the impact of the announcement of this great event on the people, and how far are they eager to come to visit Luxor nowadays?
When the Ministry of Tourism and Antiquities announced this, and it was supposed to be done during the anniversary of the discovery of Tutankhamun tomb, but they delayed it because they've been arranging some statues there and some parts of the venue itself, and the preparation, because we needed to be as a cosmopolitan, universal celebration like we did with the Golden Parade of the Pharaohs of the Mummies. We don't know exactly when they are going to do it. They didn't announce it yet. When I shared this from the page of the Ministry of Antiquities and Tourism, so many friends that they follow me, they told me when it will be happening, we need to come to see it. We missed the Golden Parade of the Pharaohs, but we'd like to see this. I didn't knew exactly how to tell them, but I told them I let you know as soon as it's possible when they announce when that will be possible. I mean that made a good value and a big influence and kind of advertising for the tourism that will help a lot. We're getting better nowadays with the tourism, and I can realize there is a kind of increase in incoming tourism to Egypt in different nationalities. Till now, the Far East countries is still closed, but we have from Europe, we have from Latin America, from Brazil, United States, from Spain, Italy, Germany, France, and so many other countries. There are a lot of tourism going on around nowadays.
Sir, talking about the idea of using the preparations and all the developments taking place as an integral part of the marketing campaign for any historical project taking place in Egypt. How do you see the impact of this, or how important it is? Because the idea that you announce the opening of such an avenue, for example, or any of the other historical events that took place is something, and when you are involved in the preparations and all what is going on throughout time in this project, then you are waiting and everyone is eager and anxious to learn more about it and when it will take place. So how important it is, and how did it help to be a part of the marketing campaign?
It is a kind of essential part of marketing campaign because not only doing announces and advertising through the the classic media and so on. Nowadays there are a lot of means and a lot of ways that you can advertise your product, because tourism is a kind of product. So you advertise your product through those events. It's very important, and especially those people who participate in some visiting here and some holiday here. The word of mouth, when they go back to their countries and they talk with their friends and their family, this is very, very essential and very important. Also the event is very important, and I'm waiting for that great event that will take place with the gym as well. That will be the high peak of the advertising of the tourism, like what we've done with the Golden Parade, and we will do hopefully with the the opening of the Ram Avenue.
And of course, adding to Luxor as being and always been an open-air museum, as we always describe it.
Yeah, it is. It is. Luxor is considered with the two sides, the east side of the Nile or the western side of the Nile. It's like an open museum. And now there are a lot of development and a lot of progress going on. And Luxor, you can see it now, it's very different from what used to be. And there's some excavation going on around as well. Like that new city was discovered by Dr. Hawat. And nearby to the Valley of the Kings, there is a valley, we call it the Monkey's Valley. Dr. Hawat is working there as well.
Right, of course. At the end, thank you very much, Mr. Said Taha, our tourism expert. Thank you very much for joining us. And just as we just mentioned, Luxor is one of the most beautiful cities around the world. It is an open-air museum. It is a place where you can learn all about ancient culture, history, civilizations, temples, the Valley of the Kings, the Queens. And of course, now we have the Avenue of the Sphinxes after being prepared and developed. So, and let me just again add that Nile TV International, of course, will be covering this event and will bring you live coverage of all what is going to take place during such a great event. That was all for our breakfast show for today. Thank you all for joining us, and stay tuned for more coming up on Nile TV International.